We also have a lot of famous Hawkeyes here in Hollywood who have unbelievable passion for their home state, especially if they're a native Iowan, and there is none more passionate about his Hawkeyes than the guy I'm about to introduce. He's a famous movie actor. He's a famous television sitcom character.
Ashton?
You knew him most notably for Roseanne. But he's made some hilarious movies, some serious, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, among others. And he is a native Iowan, and he loves his Hawkeyes. Let's get Tom Arnold up here. How about Tom Arnold?
It's great to be here. It's great to be here. How about those Hawkeyes, you guys? Finally, I'm telling you. Should I use this mic? There we go. Okay, I'm going to use the mic because I got a couple notes here because this is important. First of all, welcome to California, everybody. Been seeing a lot of Iowa fleece in Beverly Hills today. Makes me very proud. I'm going to try to do, one of these young guys said to do a selfie with you guys, and I think I know how to do this. There's a lot of you folks here. Now listen, a couple things. When my wife found out, and I found out that we were having a girl, and the due date was December 25th this year, I realized that I would not be going to Maui for the first time in 25 years, and so I tweeted, well, that's fine because the Hawkeyes are going to be in the Rose Bowl this year, and there's going to be a huge party at my house, to which my wife did not speak to me for a month. It's been a magical season, has it not? By the way, I want to thank the Iowa basketball team for last night. You know, that's a brother. You know what? That's what a brother does. You know, Michigan State got very, very lucky, and Michigan State, you know, didn't have much to say about Iowa when they got to the podium, but they don't have the class that we do, and so our Hawkeye basketball team took care of them, and that's because they're from Iowa, and that's because they're tough, but they're also compassionate. They were ahead of Iowa State, our younger cousin. They were ahead of them by 20 points in their home stadium, and they say, oh boy, we feel sorry for these guys. We're going to let them win this one. Because how many times do people come up to them and say, hey, you're from Iowa, you go to school there? Yeah, so you're a Hawkeye. And they're like, oh, I'm a Cyclone. You know, it hurts. Anyway, we want to thank all them. It's just been wonderful, wonderful year. And like I say, 25 years ago, the Rose Bowl. Time goes by fast. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my personal history. The last time Iowa won a Rose Bowl, I was 3 months away from being born. So I feel like I was a part of it. I was a part of the excitement. It was probably also the first time I had any alcohol or cigarettes. But anyway, it was a different time. It was a different time. I have a 2.5-year-old son, and I'm Jewish. But I celebrate Christmas and I eat bacon because I'm from Iowa. I'm going to tell you right now. And this year, for the first time, he got it and he was so excited he could not sleep the night before. And that took me back to when my grandpa Tom Graham would take me to Iowa Hawkeye football games. I could not sleep the night before. I had a not perfect childhood, but my best memories are going to Kinnick and watching those guys play. And as you know, we did not win many games in those days, but it didn't matter because I was with my grandpa. I got to watch the Hawkeyes, the Scottish Highlanders, remember them? You know, it was exciting. And on the way home, we stopped in Packwood, Iowa, at Dickey's Prairie Home. And they had a big buffet there. And when I was 7 years old, I ate so much that the waitress came up and scribbled off child and wrote adult on my ticket. But that's where my love for the Hawkeyes became. You know, you don't have to have gone to the University of Iowa to be a great Hawkeye. There are so many great Hawkeyes that are farmers and factory workers and they just love and support us, and it's amazing. Later on in life, I knew I wanted to do something better with my life, so I worked for 3 years at the Hormel meatpacking plant to save enough money, because I knew if I could get into the University of Iowa, my life could change. And let me tell you something, it changed. Everything, I owe them everything. I owe them everything. And it's just, like I say, it's always been great to be a Hawkeye, but then a man named Hayden Fry came to town. And let me tell you something, remember, that guy did not just change football, he changed my life. It was so exciting working at the plant, and all of a sudden we're winning games, and we're beating these guys that we just didn't think possible. And it was impressive, and it was great. And we did come to the Rose Bowl in '86. And we came in '91, you know, but I think it was like when I first moved out here in 1988 to write the Roseanne Show. I was a little stunned. You know, I wasn't quite ready for it. It took me a little while to calm down, you know, and that's what I feel about those Hawkeyes. They were like, oh my gosh, look out, we got out here. But this group of Hawkeyes weren't even born then. They aren't stunned by anything. This is such an impressive group of young men, and I'm so proud of them. And from Hayden Fry came our amazing, the best coach we could ever ask for, Kirk Ferentz. He is perfect for Iowa. In 17 years, he's done an amazing job, and I'm so proud to know him. Because, you know, Iowa, we don't get the 5-star recruits or the 4-star recruits. We get a lot of kids from Iowa, right? And we get lucky and get some smart kids that come from here and there and put together a real team. And that's why nobody wanted to respect us. It killed them to respect us on television and the national radio this year. And it's ironic that we finally earned respect when we lost our only game. They're like, hey, these guys might be good. Well, damn right we're good. We are very good. We just don't brag about it, because that's how all Hawkeyes are. This year was a special year for me too. You know, baby being born, and every game, no matter where I am, I watch the Hawkeyes play. You know, if I'm in an airport, or if someone's applying for a job for me out here, and they're a Hawkeye, they move up to the head of the class, because I know those people are hard workers. I know they're honest. Oprah knows the same thing. Sherry Salon over there, she does all the work, just like I used to do on the Roseanne Show, but I don't want to brag about it anyway. But that's just how it is. And this year, you know, I want to thank this football team for giving me so much. Like, I did not expect this to happen. And if you remember the first of the year, there was some complaining going on. There was some complaining, and it seemed like people were certain fans were getting greedy. They wanted to change things. They wanted to fire people. I don't blame the Hawkeyes. I blame Donald Trump and those other politicians for spending too much time in Iowa, and it kind of rubbed off on us. But it made me very mad, because they didn't appreciate what we had. And that's why this year is so incredible. Not only the birth of my child, but mid-season, my father got very sick and passed away. The last moments we had together, we watched the Iowa-Indiana game, and it came time for him to get his morphine, and he was like, no, no, no. I need to make sure that Iowa won first. And by the way, if you watch Iowa football, they wait till the very freaking end to win a lot of times, by the way. It's a little frightening. So, because I'm a Hawkeye, the day after my father died, I had to start a movie. Now, my wife's like, how can you do that? How can you even deal with that? Well, because I'm from Iowa. We do what we got to do. There's 100 people waiting for me to show up on the set, millions of dollars. I will make a way to do this. And then we scheduled the funeral, of course, around the Iowa-Minnesota game and the wrestling extravaganza. My dad was beloved, but if it had been during the game, nobody would have come to his funeral. So anyway, so we did that with enough time for me to get on my plane and land back at my house in Beverly Hills so I could watch Iowa, Minnesota. Now let me tell you something, I don't want to put too much pressure. Football is not life or death, but this game meant a lot to me personally. And I pulled out my 1939 Iowa Hawkeye football signed by Niall Kinnick and Edwin Tracy, and I think it's the only one in existence that's not in a museum. And I went by myself and sat in the room by myself and watched that football game and thought about my dad. And it was close. And it was close. And we won that game. Those boys won that game. And I will never forget that. That meant so much to me. So it's been that kind of a year. Now, what's coming up now? Like I say, I don't want to get greedy, but we know that we can beat anybody. Now this team, Stanford, I'll let you a little bit, yeah, they did crush USC, but USC is different than Iowa. Like Iowa's fans are crazy alcoholics, USC's coaches are crazy alcoholics. So, you know, and Stanford does have the best player in the country, but that doesn't matter because we really, and I'm telling you this, we have the best team in the country. These guys do not quit. You know, Michigan State got a little lucky with that interception on the dude's back, but we don't quit. We see it coming, and we don't quit, and that's what it's all about. You know, Rocky lost his first fight. You may not remember that, but Rocky Balboa got beat in that first fight, and then he came back. I don't know if it's asking too much in my lifetime, but I would sure like to see Iowa win a damn Rose Bowl. And if there's ever a group, of course we're not favored, but if there's ever a group that could do it, because they're not going to quit, it's this group of guys here. And how about you guys, you fans, the best of the best, coming all the way out here from that beautiful Iowa weather to spend time in this hellhole. Anyway, people say, we really appreciate you supporting the Iowa Hawkeyes. Listen, I am a freaking Iowa Hawkeye. It's in my heart. It doesn't matter what goes on in my career or my life. This is who I am. This has got me over a lot of bumps. I love the Hawkeyes. I love the University of Iowa. And I love all of you guys. Thank you very much. And I love Gary Dolman.
All right. Before you go,
And by the way, Stanford's mascot is a damn tree. What the hell? They aren't even trying. It's a tree. We got a billion trees in Iowa. What's the big deal?